11 a.m. on a Sunday. Took me forever to get here. I am at the Beijing Liao Jin City Wall Museum. I took line 4 to the stop south of the Beijing South Railway Station, which is Majaipu. I had to walk around some construction to get here. There's a couple museums up here, art museums I think, and then the major attractions are Cow Street Mosque and Fei Yuan Temple. They're pretty far well north of here. So it's out of the way to get here. I'm hoping to get over to the Beijing Ancient Architecture Museum and the Natural History Museum and kind of make a loop today, but I doubt I'll have time to do that. I was a little frustrated. I was able to record the Ping An route, Ping An Li from Nangulu Street. I came out of the subway and it turned itself off, the recording button, and so I had to go back to Namligu and do it again. If you want to record an underground track and you're traveling in a straight line, you can do it by hitting the record, putting on an airplane mode, go down into the subway, take it, come out from the subway, turn off the airplane mode, and it will record your track in a straight line, hopefully, if it can find you. Didn't do it the first time because it shut itself off, because I think I was playing around with the map while I was in the subway, color coding things, and the record button turned itself off. So I did it a second time and it worked. The annoying thing is when you exit the subway, you have to go through security again to get back into the subway, and it takes a lot of time. So it took me an extra half hour to go back and forth to record this track, but I got it. And it's only a few subway stops, but I thought it would be nice on my map to be able to look and say, okay, that's where line 6 is, and yesterday I took line 8, one stop, to give myself an idea. It helps because they tell you the subway stops on here, but you have to make an icon for them yourself to really see them when you zoom out. And it doesn't really help to say, well, that's such and such stop. Well, what fucking subway line is it on? I have no idea how to get there or go there if I don't see the overlay of the route. And it's not like I can just do this and drop a straight line. I should be able to drop a line by pinching like that, But it won't let you do that, God forbid, And so I went all the way down here with the record button on airplane mode, got out here, turned it off, and it couldn't zero in on me. It had me within maybe like 50 feet of where I was, but it wasn't exactly sure. It actually had my exact location, but it had a little blue bubble around it, like, I'm not sure where you are, maybe you're not actually there. So I sat there for like 5 minutes hoping it would, work. And then the record button finally turned itself off and it didn't record the track. So it didn't record that route, which I'm pissed off. Would have been a nice line down here that I would have said, okay, that's line 4, that's where it runs. But God forbid, this Galileo app is a cheap app, and the maps are free to download. That's nice, but it's got some major drawbacks that are mind-boggling. Lately, it'll just stop recording my track for no reason as I'm walking, and I won't notice it till I'm like half a mile, and I'm like, oh great, now I have a half-mile gap in where I was walking. If I want to have a nice record of where I was going that day. Oh, fuck you, I'm just going to turn myself off for no reason. So Beijing Liao Jin City Wall Museum is a unique and specialized historic site museum. The Jiangdu Watergate historic site inside the museum was discovered by the Beijing Municipal Bureau of Landscape and Forestry during the construction of a dormitory in Yulin community on Yuanmen Outer Street. The municipal government and the experts attached great importance to the discovery of the site and decided to build a museum there so that the site could be preserved constantly, and the museum was also to be open to the public. Watergate Historic Site provides us with real evidence to know about the layout of Jiangdu, of Jin City, and Beijing's history as a capital. The integrity and magnificent size of Watergate Historic Site made it come out first among the sites of the same period and join the ranks of the top 10 archaeological discoveries in 1990 China. State protected site as of 2001. I went to a Watergate museum in Shanghai that mentioned hello. This way? Okay. Shown here. Shoe on site. Essentially, the water gates, as they are in Shanghai, were constructed to keep out the backflow of the tide from bringing mud into the canal system that ran in the delta area of the Yangtze River and the Huangpu River. So I would assume this is the same idea. There's a little bit more to the museum in Shanghai than they have here. But essentially it's a canal system with a gate that would be lowered when the tide came in. Like the Hudson River is a good example. The Native American name for the Hudson River is the river that changes direction. And it would do it 4 times a day with the tide of the Atlantic Ocean. And with it, it carries silt. And that silt will clog up your transport network. Beijing, they say, is a city without a river. But there were waterways here, rivers here that aren't major rivers. Now the way this gate is coming up and down with the slits here, maybe it looks like just a protective toll gate for barges coming in and out to have to pay their tolls. It looks like some of the wooden pilings. Let's see if they have any of the bronze connectors between the slabs here. I don't know if I can make it out there. But in Shanghai, they had bronze connectors between the slabs of stone to make sure they were watertight. And they're kind of shaped like a barbell. This is a picture of the restored picture of the Watergate. Good, they have some English. The cultural earth of the Watergate site of the South City Wall of Jiangdu of the Jin Dynasty. That's the name for Beijing during the Jin Dynasty. It's 5 to 6 meters thick, divided into 6 layers according to the relations of the layers and the relics found in every layer. We know the Watergate site had been applying until early Yuan Dynasty and abandoned in the middle of the later Yuan Dynasty. That's the Mongol reign. There's earth. So the lowest being the Jin. People were living here. Peking man's skull was found in Beijing up to 250, 300,000 years ago. And that's like not even Paleolithic. It's one of the Homo predecessor species. Then the Wang Fujin Paleolithic site I went to by the pedestrian shopping street. It's in the basement of the Oriental Plaza Mall. That excavation goes back to 25,000 BC, 20 to 25,000 BC. So that's Paleolithic. And then the Jin are about 1,000, 1100 AD. So if you want to place it on a timeline, let's see, maybe they do that for us here. The ruins of the Watergate in the Jin Jiangdu, which is the capital of the Jin Dynasty, were discovered in 1990 AD. It was It's situated underground, 5.6 meters deep from the Earth's surface. The ruins have provided concrete evidence for studying the water conservancy facilities and building pattern of its kind in the capital of Jin Dynasty, 1153 to 1215 AD. So that's when they're dating Jin Dynasty. The Jin and the Liao pushed the Song Dynasty south. So the northern Song becomes the southern Song and puts their capital at Hangzhou, where it was earlier this summer. And then the Mongols eventually come in and conquer everybody. It was started by the Jin Dynasty to choose Beijing as the capital. All vestiges of the former capital almost fully disappeared during the following Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties. The ruins of the Watergate are the only architectural remains with architectural structures so far discovered in the inner city of the Jin capital. The rationalization of its design, the solidarity of its structure, and the magnificence of its scale have presented a spectacular view. The discovery of the ruins has not only helped confirm the location of the Watergate at the south city wall in the Jin capital, but also to find the direction of flow of an important river system inside the Jin capital by searching northwards the direction of an ancient river through archaeological drilling. A museum, the city wall, during the Liao Jin dynasty established the original site in 95, making possible to put this rare treasure to public display. So I'm still not quite sure of the nature of the gate, but watch my video of the Watergate in Shanghai. Just type in Watergate Shanghai. I'm probably the only person on YouTube with the video of it. It's quite fascinating, actually. But we're so far inland here and off a major river system that I don't know that they had much of a problem with mud silting up their canal network into the capital. The bronze connectors would have been on the water level there, probably, to make it watertight. I see some patches here between the stones where it looks like they may have had bronze connecting pieces. Yeah. See here? To keep them watertight. So it took me 2 hours to get here. I guess that's all there is to see in the museum. No more. Such a big building. Seems like they should have more of a display. So I walked 2 hours for 5-10 minutes of a display. So they've got this big chunk of the building here. I don't know what it's for. Who? I had to walk around some construction to get here. There's a couple museums up here, art museums, I think. And then the major attractions are Cow Street Mosque and Fei Yuan Temple. They're pretty far well north of here. So it's out of the way to get here. I'm hoping to get over to the Beijing Ancient Architecture Museum and the Natural History Museum, turn itself off. So I did it a second time and it worked. The annoying thing is when you exit the subway, you have to go through security again to get back into the subway, and it takes a lot of time. So it took me an extra half hour to go back and forth to record this track, but I got it. And it's only a few subway stops, but I thought it would be nice on my map to be able to look and say, okay, that's where line 6 is, and yesterday I took line 8, one stop. It's 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Took me forever to get here. I am at the Beijing Liao City Wall Museum. I took line 4 to the stop south of the Beijing South Railway Station, which is Majai. And kind of make a loop today, but I doubt I'll have time to do that. I was a little frustrated. I was able to record the Ping An route, Ping An Li from Nangulu Street. I did have to, I came out of the subway and it turned itself off, the recording button, and so I had to go back to Namligu and do it again. If you want to record an underground track and you're traveling in a straight line, you can do it by hitting the record, putting on an airplane mode, go down into the subway, take it, come out from the subway, turn off the airplane mode, and it will record your track in a straight line, hopefully, if it can find you. Didn't do it the first time because it shut itself off, because I think I was playing around with the map while I was in the subway, color coding things, and the record button turned